Hey, another movie for guys. Now, this movie reviewing, this is a movie that I don't think a lot of people know about, but was a movie that I was definitely very interested in watching, and I want to make sure this is one of the first movies I reviewed of this year, so that way I didn't forget about it, and that is the first Netflix film of 2017, that being Coin Heist. Now, Coin Heist is a movie that I went into relatively with very small knowledge. I really didn't know much about the movie. I watched the trailer and I still didn't really know how to feel about it. I thought some of it looked good, some of it looked okay, but I really didn't know how this really was going to be as an overall film. And I've heard nothing. I've heard literally nothing about this movie. It seems like it kind of just came out of Netflix and it dropped out of nowhere. And I was really trying to figure out, why is no one reviewing this movie? What's going on here? I mean, you got a cast here that you think people would talk about, but no one's really talked about it. And I have to say that after watching Coin Heist, I can understand why many people haven't talked about this movie, because Coin Heist isn't a great movie, but it is a pretty good movie, and I definitely did enjoy it overall. It's not a perfect movie, but I definitely did enjoy it, and I wish more people would definitely talk about it. But let's get to the plot of Coin Heist, which the plot of this movie is pretty simple. We focus on these four teenagers, well, mainly these three teenagers. We don't focus on the fourth one until much later. One is this rebellious type of slacker who really isn't doing that great in his classes and isn't exactly focused on schoolwork. Then you got the scholar who is like obsessed with school and things like that, and she wants to be perfect and proper and things like that. And then you also have the hacker, and these three basically have known each other for a long time. They have past relations with each other. They've had different things and things like that, and things start to change, though, when one day the scholar, played by Sasha, announces that the school, because the school has to, cut some funds, every single after-school program and every single club is being cut, and they really want to do something about this because they want to make sure that people get, what they want and that they get to express who they are. And basically, they decide that the way they're going to do this is to literally break into the U.S. Mint and steal about $5,000 and basically try to save the school from that. And that's the basic plot overall, which is a bit silly, but let's get into this movie overall. Start off with the cast. Was interesting because most of the cast I do in fact recognize. I thought for the most part everyone did do a pretty great job. Let's first talk about Alexis, who is our main character in this movie, who I haven't seen since Finding Carter, and he was great in this movie. I really did like his character. Like I said, he's kind of like the dropout that's not really focused on school. He has a band, and his mom is constantly pressuring him with colleges and things like that, and I found his character to be very interesting. This is someone who, very much wants to make a name for himself and kind of just is trying to do his own thing, but he doesn't really listening to some of his mom's suggestions, and I did like the direction this character went in overall. There's a lot of interesting things going on with him. I just like that Alexis did another movie. He's a very good actor, and I'm happy to see that he's here. However, he's not my favorite character in this movie. My favorite character in this movie, my favorite performance by far, is Sasha Pieterse as her character Dakota. This is a character that I found to be very interesting because she is your typical rich girl who's like preppy and things like that. But she also is kind of insecure about herself, and she's very down, and she's worried that, what her mom wants and what she thinks she wants is not exactly what she's wanted, and I think that definitely is very interesting. There's this great scene where she's talking to one of the characters about, the direction her life is taken and how she's not really happy about it, and I thought it was a very interesting scene overall. I really did like that scene with her. Again, just like, just like Alexandra's character, she's constantly pressured with, with stuff like college and things like that, and I thought that definitely was very interesting. And there is a past between her and Alexis because they did used to have a relationship, and it didn't get too annoying. I thought it was going to, but it didn't get annoying in the end. I thought it worked for the most part, and I thought it actually made their chemistry stronger. They worked very well together. I like seeing these two actors, and I thought they definitely were the highlights of the film. Now, the others here I thought were really good, especially Alexis Zail. She really surprised me in this movie. She was very funny, she was very witty, by far the funniest of the bunch. Like, she definitely had a lot of really funny lines. She's also trying to pursue a relationship with Alexis in the film, but she also has a boyfriend. I thought her character definitely was very interesting. I like the direction that her character went in the movie. But then you also have the other character here. I can't think of his. Oh, Connor Ratliff comes on this movie, and he's good for the most part. I thought overall he did an okay job. There's really not much to say about him because he does come in very, very late into the film, but he did a good job overall. I like what he did here, and I thought for the most part they worked well together, but I will definitely say that these two don't have nearly the amount of character development that the other two characters do, and they try to definitely, but they don't really have as much character development. But I thought for the most part all four of these actors worked really well together. You could see why they were friends, you could see the bond that they had, and definitely you cared about them enough to really, their characters really do drive the film, and I think they handled that for the most part really, really well. Now, the directing here is, in fact, by Emily Hagins, and she, for the most part, did a really good job with this. I thought that the comedic stuff worked pretty well, as the dramatic stuff here. However, the movie goes pretty quickly from a teen comedy to a heist film, and I will definitely admit, the heist stuff doesn't work as well as the comedy did. It tries to be this big type of heist film where, they're trying to retrieve all this money and things like that, and that's when the movie started to lose me a bit. I didn't find the heist stuff to be as interesting. I found it to be kind of more of an afterthought, and it comes in so late into the film. I'd say about 40 minutes, and the movie's like 90 minutes. It comes in a little bit too late that I just didn't find myself all that interested in the heist stuff. Now, I did find the overall plot quite interesting, and I'm not going to say the screenplay was bad, because it was overall a pretty interesting screenplay. First of all, I like the way that all these characters knew of each other. Like, they had past relationships, and they knew who they really were. The fourth guy didn't really know any of them. They just kind of knew him as a jock, and that's really it. The other three kind of knew each other, and I thought it was definitely interesting overall, and they did some good stuff with their characters, and they set them up pretty well as well. I mean, the first, I'd say, 30 minutes is us just getting to know their characters, and I like the way the movie did take their time with that. I thought that overall that was pretty good, the way it took its time. I definitely did appreciate that, and I thought the way the screenplay was written, I definitely really did like I said, their whole Alexis and Sasha Pieterse relationship I thought was very interesting, things like that. When it comes down to the heist stuff, it is a bit unbelievable, definitely. But I did understand why they were trying to do it. A lot of people are saying, oh, why do they care about their school so much? I didn't really see it as that. I saw it as them wanting kids to be able to be who they want to be. Like, letting kids, the reason that all these clubs are around in school is because, a lot of people don't have that direction. A lot of people don't know what they want to do. And these clubs not only make them integrate with people who they normally wouldn't hang out with, but it also makes them realize who they are and realize what they want to do. And when you take all of that away, high school becomes kind of pointless. There's not really, high school, yes, you're there to learn. But when it comes to clubs, that's always one of the highlights of high school. I will definitely agree with that. I mean, two of the highlights of my school are chorale and theater. Those are two things that I very much, chorale, of course, being extended choir, if you guys don't know what that is. But those are two things that I'm very passionate about. And those are two things that I very much care about. And that's something that this movie really does touch upon. That's something that I really did respect about the movie, is how much it cares about, people enrolling themselves in clubs, and I thought that definitely was very interesting. Like I said, though, the whole thing with them and the coins and them trying to hack into the U.S. Mint, it's a bit unbelievable, but if you can overlook it, which I was able to do because I care about the characters enough and I care about the story, I thought for the most part that it worked. It kept me into what was going on. I definitely was invested throughout a large majority of the film. I wouldn't say I wasn't invested, and they did a good job of keeping things at least a bit interesting, definitely. But I will say, once the heist stuff does start up, the film does start to get a little bit away from the characters. They start to focus more on some heist stuff. There's a lot of slapstick humor. There's this one very annoying teacher throughout the movie who I honestly couldn't stand. I just found to be really annoying. It's clear the movie wants him to be kind of like the villain, and I get we're not supposed to like him, but I just found him to be quite annoying. He didn't really add anything to the film. Other than the fact of, why he was doing this. And there wasn't really a specific reason other than that they needed money, why they wanted to do this. I felt like there should have been a deeper reason there, but they didn't really do that as well as they could have. And like I said, the other two characters in the film, they're fine, but they aren't really developed as much as Alexis and Sasha Pieterse. They do try to develop, they definitely do try to develop Connor Ratliff's character, but it's only in like one scene, and other than that, they don't really develop him that much. They don't really do as good as a development as they did with him, but I thought for the most part the screenplay was well written, and I did like the way the movie ended. I thought the ending was actually very interesting, the way they took it in the end. I liked the way that ended overall. The cinematography here I thought was fine. Nothing really crazy to say about it. I thought it was good cinematography overall. The score was good, and the editing to the film I thought was really good. I was into the movie most of the time. I didn't find it boring. Not every joke hit. I definitely will say that. I didn't really find every joke to hit. In the movie, I didn't really find to be all that funny. I definitely will say that. Not every joke was funny. Alexis G. Zail were most of the lines that were really making me laugh. But there were definitely some funny lines in there. There were definitely some funny scenes. But a lot of the stuff in the second half of the movie, I did find to be a little bit silly and just a little bit childish. But overall, I thought it works for the most part. I thought that the editing was pretty good, and it didn't really deter, away from the movie for me too much. So overall, guys, Coin Heist is a very fun Netflix film that I'm surprised a lot of people haven't talked about. If you like Alex Sanction, if you like Sasha Pieterse, I'd say it's worth watch. It is a bit crazy to try to get past the plot, because I do know the plot is a bit ridiculous, and some people may not be able to take the movie seriously because of that, and they may not be able to even watch the movie, because I've heard some people say this movie's really boring, and I get it. I really do get why you may not be able to take the plot seriously. But if you can overlook the plot, and if you can really care, and if you care about these characters, and if the movie does hook you in the first 30 minutes, it is a very fun watch that I don't know if I'd really watch again, but for the most part, I definitely did enjoy it. I thought it was a very fun film that was definitely better than probably most of the January films that are to come. I'm very happy to see that Netflix is getting a lot more original films. If you guys don't know, Netflix is going to be doing an original film every single week from now till April, and that is incredible how much they're expanding their content, because, sure, they've made a name for themselves as a TV department, but not really with movies. Movies, it's been more, that they've been movies that aren't necessarily marketed by Netflix, but do come on to Netflix because Netflix wants to promote them, and these are movies that Netflix is trying to make a name for themselves with, so I'm happy to see that they are in fact trying to get more original films, and this one I think works for the most part. Overall, I'm really enjoying Coin Heist overall. It's a very, it's a film that I think is going to be very overlooked by the end of, by the end of this month, and I am going to give Coin Heist a 3.5 out of 5 or a B. So over, guys, my review, Coin Heist. Let me know if you guys saw this movie overall. Loved your thoughts on it. Do you like this? Do you think that Netflix is making the right movies? Are you looking forward to seeing more of Netflix other films? And guys, my next video will in fact be my Golden Globes live stream, which definitely look forward to that. Me, Adam Haskell, and 22 Tiger Dude will all be on a live stream. I'm not doing a nominations video. I just don't have the time for it. We will be predicting nominations throughout the night, so look forward to that. If you guys want to ask me any questions, definitely look forward to that. That will be starting at 7:45, so look forward to that, definitely. But after this video, hope you all enjoy it. We'll see you guys in my next video, which will be for the Golden Globes live stream, and I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.